Jerusalem, a city of great biblical significance, is at the center of prophecies concerning the end of times. One such prophecy predicts a war in the land of Israel, with nations attacking Jerusalem. Currently, there is a brutal ongoing war between Israel and Hamas, leading many to question if the return of the Messiah is imminent. As the world watches with anticipation, let us explore the clues to determine if these prophecies will come to pass or if unexpected peace will prevail. In the Bible, Jerusalem is repeatedly referred to as the city of God or the holy city, where his presence resides and where his temple should be built. The temple on Mount Zion serves as the focal point of God's presence in the city. This divine selection is emphasized in passages such as 2 Chronicles chapter 6 verse 6, where Solomon declares that God has chosen Jerusalem as a place for his name, and Psalms chapter 132 verse 14, which states that God has chosen Zion as his dwelling place where he desires to rest forever. The establishment of modern Israel was greatly influenced by the displacement and persecutions suffered by millions of Jewish people during World War II, particularly during the Holocaust. This traumatic event, coupled with the desire for a safe homeland, garnered increased support for the creation of a Jewish state. After World War II, Jews were scattered across various regions, a phenomenon known as the Jewish dysphoria or dispersion. The dispersion has a profound impact to the formation and growth of modern Israel, as it fueled the rise of Zionist movement, which advocated for the establishment of a Jewish homeland. The survivors of the Holocaust in particular felt that Europe held no future for the Jews and sought a place where they would no longer be a vulnerable minority. There was a significant influx of Jewish immigrants to Palestine, which had a profound impact on the development of modern Israel. These immigrants brought with them a wide range of skills, knowledge, and experiences that contributed to the growth of infrastructure, economy, culture, and society within Israel. From a religious perspective, the establishment of modern Israel is seen by some believers as a spiritual revival for the Jewish people. It is viewed as the fulfillment of God's promises and a symbol of the chosen people returning to their faith. Interpretations of biblical prophecies further strengthen the connection between the establishment of Israel and religious beliefs. Passages such as Ezekiel 37 verse 1 through 14 depict God breathing life into a valley filled with dried bones, symbolizing the revival and reunification of the scattered Israelites. Other prophecies in Jeremiah and Isaiah speak of God gathering his people from all nations, bringing them back to their land, and promising forgiveness, a deep relationship, and spiritual prosperity. Additionally, the establishment of modern-day Israel is seen as the fulfillment of God's covenant with Abraham, where he promised Abraham and his descendants the land of Canaan as an everlasting possession. Jerusalem also holds a central role in many biblical prophecies concerning Israel. For example, Zechariah chapter 8 verse 3 states that God will return to Zion and dwell in Jerusalem, highlighting the significance of Jerusalem in the fulfillment of God's plan for Israel. Furthermore, the Bible states that Jerusalem will be a focal point in the end times, with nations assaulting the city and the Antichrist demanding worship there, marking preparations for the end of the ages and the anticipated return of the Lord. The Bible also indicates that Jerusalem will play a central role in future events. Throughout history, Jerusalem has gained religious significance, particularly during the reigns of David and Solomon in the Hebrew Bible. This city holds deep reverence in Judaism, Christianity, and even Islam. One of the focal points in Jerusalem is the Temple Mount, considered the holiest place on earth and the third holiest Islamic site. The connection between Jerusalem, Israel, and religious faith underscores the significance of this historic and sacred land in the hearts and the minds of the believers. Ancient prophecies are unfolding through the revival of Israel's barren lands and the construction of the third temple. Numerous prophecies about Jerusalem and Israel have been fulfilled, partly fulfilled, or remain unfulfilled. One such fulfillment is the transformation of the once barren land into a fruitful one, as prophesied in Zechariah chapter 8 verse 12. Israel has overcome the challenges posed by its arid climate and limited water resources through advancements in agricultural practices. The country has become a global leader in agricultural technologies, employing sophisticated irrigation systems like drip irrigation to maximize crop yields while minimizing water usage. Development efforts have also resulted in the creation of drought-resistant crops and varieties that require less water, thereby contributing to increased productivity and water conservation. Water management strategies have also played a huge role in ensuring a stable supply of fresh water. Specifically, desalination has addressed water scarcity by converting seawater into usable water. Additionally, land reclamation projects and soil improvement techniques have rehabilitated previously unproductive areas, transforming them into fertile agricultural lands. The progress made in agricultural and the greening of the land can be seen as the realization of these prophecies. Another significant biblical prophecy about Israel that has been partially fulfilled is the reconstruction of the third temple. This prophecy is based on passages found in various books of the Bible, particularly Ezekiel and Daniel. Ezekiel provides a detailed vision of a future temple, describing it as a magnificent structure where the man of sin will dwell. Similarly, the book of Daniel mentions the desecration and subsequent restoration of a future temple. These prophecies have sparked discussions and expectations regarding the rebuilding of the third temple, highlighting its significance as a place of worship. The reconstruction of the temple is seen as a significant indication of the imminent arrival of the Antichrist and the second coming of Jesus Christ, as foretold by the Hebrew prophets. The third temple also holds great religious importance for both Jews and Christians, symbolizing redemption and serving as a central place of worship. It allows Jews to fully uphold their covenant with God following the destruction of the first and second temple by the Babylonians and the Romans, according to their beliefs. The anticipation of the third temple is rooted in specific biblical prophecies, with interpretations varying among Christians. While some Christians consider its construction significant in relation to the end times, others believe that the new covenant, marked by the indwelling of the Holy Spirit in believers, renders the physical third temple less necessary. In Judaism, the first and second temples were integral to religious life and represented the dwelling place of God. Therefore, rebuilding the third temple signifies a return to spiritual completeness and the fulfillment of biblical prophecies. Orthodox and conservative Jews view the third temple as a crucial aspect of their faith, closely tied to their beliefs in the Messiah. However, differing opinions exist within Judaism regarding the construction of the third temple. Theological beliefs connect the construction of the third temple to eschatology and messianic expectations. Many Jewish traditions anticipate that the coming of the Messiah will coincide with the rebuilding of the third temple. It is believed that the Messiah will restore Israel's sovereignty, gathering all Jews to their homeland, and rebuild the temple in Jerusalem as a sign of redemption and ultimate peace. In contrast, others argue that the temple can be constructed by human efforts. The third temple is also associated with reinstating sacrifices according to ancient Jewish rituals described in the Torah. These sacrifices are believed to provide atonement for sins and serve as acts of worship. Their resumption is viewed as a sign that the third temple will be built. However, there is a challenge that may either stop or delay the rebuilding of the third temple. The construction of the third temple in Jerusalem carries significant political implications, as it would involve changing the status quo on the Temple Mount Haram al-Sharif complex. This area holds religious importance for both Jews and Muslims, as it houses the Western Wall, a holy site for Jews, and the Al-Aqsa Mosque, a significant Islamic site. Due to the implications it holds for Israeli-Palestinian relations and regional stability, the Dome of the Rock and the proposed Third Temple in Jerusalem have long been sources of conflict and debate. The Dome of the Rock, a significant Islamic sacred site constructed in the late 7th century CE on the top Temple Mount, known as Haram al-Sharif in Arabic, is believed to be the location for which Muhammad ascended to heaven. However, throughout history, there have been disputes among Muslims regarding the claims that the Temple Mount was the site of the first and second Jewish temples. These disputes arise from a combination of religious and political factors, with Muslim scholars holding differing opinions on the precise location of the Jewish temples during the early Islamic period. To prevent violence and maintain stability, a status quo arrangement was reached, granting Israel overall security control while Jordan's Islamic Waqf manages day-to-day affairs at this site. Nonetheless, the building of the Third Temple has the potential to exacerbate tensions and conflicts between these two communities. An example that stands out is the case of Abd al-Malik ibn Marwan, who held the position of Ummad Key from 685 to 705 CE. He took the initiative to oversee the construction of the Dome of the Rock on the Temple Mount, which is widely recognized as a significant achievement in Islamic architecture. Some historians argue that this construction project was intentionally undertaken to assert Islamic dominance over Judaism and Christianity by appropriating their sacred sites. This suggests that there may have been a deliberate effort to deny or downplay the Jewish connection to the Temple Mount during this period. The debate regarding the Temple Mount's historical significance continued until a catastrophic event occurred, revealing evidence of the Second Temple. Following a powerful earthquake that struck Jerusalem, the Al-Aqsa Mosque on the Temple Mount suffered extensive damage, particularly to its southern wall, raising concerns about its stability and the need for restoration. During the subsequent restoration work, British archaeologist Robert Hamilton conducted evacuations and around the Al-Aqsa Mosque, leading to significant findings that shed light on the historical importance of the Temple Mount, specifically regarding the existence of the Second Temple. One noteworthy discovery made by Hamilton was a grand staircase that extended from the southern wall of the Temple Mount towards an area known as Robinson's Arch. Ancient pilgrims likely utilized this staircase to access the Second Temple. Another significant discovery was a well-preserved mikvah, a Jewish ritual bath located near the southeast corner of the Temple Mount. This finding suggests the presence of a Jewish community in close proximity to the Temple Mount during that time period. Additionally, Hamilton uncovered coins from the Second Temple period, providing evidence of human activity and habitation during that specific era. Furthermore, Hamilton unearthed remains of a Byzantine mosaic located approximately half a meter below the damaged mosque floor. Alongside other artifacts such as mosaic stones, column capitals, and marble fragments, these findings indicate the existence of structures from the Byzantine period 324 to 638 CE within the Temple Mount. While the implications of these discoveries on the future of the Temple Mount remain uncertain, the Jewish people have demonstrated resilience by diligently preparing for the construction of the Third Temple. The groundwork for this reconstruction begins with the establishment of the Temple Institute in Jerusalem. This organization is dedicated to studying and preparing for the eventual rebuilding of the temple, focusing on researching and accurately recreating the sacred vessels and instruments required for temple service, as described in ancient Jewish texts. One notable achievement of the Temple Institute is the creation of a replica of the golden menorah, a 7-branched candelabrum used in the Second Temple. In addition, the organization has constructed a replica of the golden altar, which was utilized for burning incense in the Second Temple. They have also prepared a replica of the table of showbread, which held 12 loaves, symbolizing the 12 tribes of Israel. Furthermore, a copper laver, a ceremonial washing basin used by priests before entering the temple to adhere to proper purification rituals, has been created. The organization has also replicated the high priest's garments. One crucial aspect of the preparation involves obtaining red hair without any blemishes, as it is required for the purification rituals preceding the construction of the Third Temple. Consequently, a Christian group has generously donated some of these red hairs, while various organizations and individuals have dedicated their efforts to breeding these red heifers that meet the specific biblical requirements. Recently, the Temple Institute reenacted the water libation ceremony as it was performed in ancient times. The purpose of these reenactments is to educate people about the significance of the ceremony and to express their longing for the day when the temple will be rebuilt. The event took place in Jerusalem's Old City, led by Rabbi Yisrael Ariel, the founder of the Temple Institute, and esteemed rabbis such as Rabbi Dov Lior, Rabbi Aristern, Rabbi Shmuel Elishu, Rabbi David Shai Hakochin, Rabbi Ramjan, and Rabbi Menimin and Borestein, and Rabbi Urechuri. The event occurred at 1642 in the Old City of Jerusalem. The participants dressed in priestly garments as mandated by the Bible, included priests and Levites. They carried musical instruments and wore unique clothing. The procession commenced at the Dung Gate, also known as Hashput, where the group gathered. The Levites led the way, playing joyful melodies on drums, violins, guitars, and clarinets. As they proceeded through the city, the participants sang and danced along the route. They passed by archaeological remains of the ancient city of David, went through an Arab village, and eventually reached the Shalom Spring. At designated stops during the procession, the sound of 4-long pure silver trumpets added a touch of solemnity to the event. Although the reenactment was not open to the public, a select group of 10 participants had the privilege of drawing water from the Shiloh pool. This pool served as the starting point for pilgrims who would journey to Jerusalem for the biblical feast. Pilgrims would also cleanse themselves in the pool before ascending to the inner courts of the Temple Mount to prevent their sacrificial offerings. The golden jug was ceremonially filled at the Shiloh pool, symbolizing the drawing of water from the libation. The procession then returned to the mountaintop and set up a model altar in an open area near the western wall. The altar was adorned with leafy willow branches, as was done during temple times, along with the necessary utensils used in the ancient temple. The ceremony lasted for 15 hours and became the focal point of celebration, attracting participants from various locations. The temple's reenactment of the water libation ceremony, performed by the NSUT, is a tribute to the historical customs and rituals associated with the temple. It provides participants with a glimpse into the past and an opportunity to reflect and express their aspirations for the future rebuilding of the third temple in Jerusalem. Among all the biblical prophecies about Jerusalem, the most alarming one appears to be the rise of the Antichrist and the end times. According to the book of Daniel, 2 Thessalonians, and Revelation, the Antichrist is a deceitful and influential figure who opposes God and seeks global domination. He will deceive people with his charisma and perform extraordinary signs and miracles, gaining widespread support. During the Great Tribulation, he will establish a single global government and demand worship from all individuals, persecuting believers and attempting to eradicate genuine worships of God from Christians. Despite initially making a covenant with Israel, he will ultimately turn against them, leading to a time of unparalleled distress for the nation. It is widely acknowledged that there is an ongoing conflict between Israelis and Hamas, resulting in the tragic loss of numerous lives on both sides. While the Antichrist has not yet made himself known, it can be argued that certain aspects of the Antichrist prophecy have been partially fulfilled. These events can be viewed as part of God's larger plan for Israel and the broader church community. Israel holds a significant position at the focal point of the Messiah's arrival, and considering the historical accuracy of biblical prophecies concerning Israel, it is reasonable to suggest that the end times are approaching and the return of the Messiah is near, if not very close. In light of this, it is crucial for all individuals to align their paths with Christ's righteousness and seek a very deep connection with God and preparation for the rapture. This entails displaying unwavering faith and a strong devotion to Jesus Christ. Let us be ready for the Messiah's return, as Christ is the eternal King who will reign forever. For more information on the fulfillment of biblical prophecies in Israel, please show your support by liking and subscribing this video, sharing it with a friend, and don't forget to donate. I have Patreon, or if you want to go ahead and buy me a coffee, you can go ahead and do that in the link below. All support is appreciated. God bless you guys. Bye.